Standard gauge and narrow gauge. What's the difference? Let's find out. On the island of Sodor, there are many different kinds of engines, but only two kinds of track: standard gauge and narrow gauge. Whether they are steamies or diesels, most of the engines on Sodor run on standard gauge track. But some engines run on narrow gauge track, like Victor at the steamworks, and the narrow gauge engines at the Blue Mountain Quarry.
Good morning, Thomas.
Good morning, Sir Handel.
Narrow gauge engines are smaller than standard gauge engines, and their wheels are closer together. That's because narrow gauge track has rails that are closer together. Because narrow gauge track is smaller and lighter to carry and build, it is better for use high up in the mountains. And because narrow gauge engines are small and the tracks are narrow, they can make tighter turns in the mountains and other small spaces, like the steamworks. On the island of Sodor, there are two major narrow gauge lines: the Col di Fel mountain railway in the high hills, and the Skarloey line, which runs up from the steamworks at Crovan's Gate all the way up to the Blue Mountain Quarry. The Fat Controller is in charge of the standard gauge lines on the island, and the narrow gauge lines are run by the Thin Controller. The wheels of standard gauge engines like Thomas are too wide to fit on narrow gauge track, and the wheels of narrow gauge engines are not wide enough to fit on standard gauge track. It's the same for narrow gauge trucks too. At the Blue Mountain Quarry, all the stone that's collected by the narrow gauge engines has to be transferred to standard gauge trucks before it can be taken on the Fat Controller's railway. Narrow gauge and standard gauge. Two different sizes of track for two different sizes of engine. But big or small, they are all really useful.